Hi ladies, hi gents. I want to share a video with you today, and it's a design team project for Wild Orchid Crafts, the Wild Bunch. And as usual, I will pop all the links down below, also the product codes of everything that I use. Okay, today I'm going to try and do a tutorial. I am saying trying because I just decided on a whim that I was going to do a tutorial, so I don't know how it's going to go, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and if it turns out okay then I will upload it. Okay, so let me move my sign out the way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a flower wreath using one of these little polystyrene wreaths, and this is only 4.5 inches diameter, so it's fairly small. It's about the size of my hand. So I've got a number of flowers and bits out. I've got the idea in my head. Whether it works out that way, we'll see. So I'm just going to give it a go and see how I get on. Okay. So to start with, I just want to run, I'm not going to cover this in fabric because I actually want to push the flowers into the polystyrene. But what I do want to do is I just want to cover the edge in a lace and maybe the inside, just to give it a softness. And I want to use sort of creams, whites and peaches, so I had to choose a cream lace. So I'm just going to, because it's flowers, I'm just going to use this lace from my stash. So I think I'm just going to put this on the edge. Let's see if that will focus for a minute. Just run this round the edge, and I mean you could use any lace to do this. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to quickly glue that around the edges like that. So I'm just going to get straight into it. Might look at the state of my glue gun. It's started, let's see if I can get this off, leaking. So I think it's time for a new one, but this will have to do just now until I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue to start this off. And I only just want to tack it down on the centre. There is a line that I can follow, so that's handy. I definitely think my glue gun has seen better days, so I'll have to look on eBay, see if I can get another one. I love these little polystyrene shapes. They are so fun to work with. I'm literally just tacking this on with hot glue. Just going to trim it off where I think it's going to end. I've got glue strings. This glue gun is definitely on its way out. I've got wire next to me and it keeps catching on my sleeve. Okay, so you can just see that it gives it a little bit of, because this is going to hang on the wall, so you won't see the back of it, and hopefully I'm going to cover the whole front in flowers. Well, that's the plan, if it works. So, and then I just want to tack more on the inside of the circle, I think. I'm just going to start off by putting a little bit of glue on the lace to get it in place first of all. Getting glue strings as well now. Goodness me. Okay. Okay, nearly there. Let me just measure. Cut there. Right. Okay. Right, there we go. So I've ran the lace on the inside and the outside. Okay, and because before I start adding any flowers, I think I'm going to put a hanger on it, which I'm just going to use seam binding. So I love this seam binding. This is called Cameo Beige, and the product code is MKX472. And it is a really beautiful colour. It's a real creamy colour. Okay. So let me see. I think I will just tie a knot to one end. Actually, I'll double it because I want it to hold really well. And I'll just trim that excess off. Okay, and all I do is, so put it beneath, and then actually I should have put that to the back. Yeah, do it the other way. So I'll put it beneath and just loop that through, and there's the hanger. And then what I normally do when I hang something up, I normally just put a little flower or something over the knot, so that when you hang it up you don't see that. So I either put a little daisy flower or something over the knot when I hang it up. Okay, so that's the hanger on and the lace on. Okay, so that's my top, this is my bottom. Okay, so for the bottom I want to add a few kind of like embellishments. So I've made these little fabric loopy picks, if you want to call them that, and I'll just show you how I made this. So take a length of seam binding. I don't measure, I just cut I don't know, 12 inches, I don't know. I don't measure. So, and then I just, hang on, fold it in half, and then fold it in half again, and then again. And I do it very roughly because I want them not to look too perfect, if you know what I mean. Okay, so then I'm just going to take a little bit of wire, and this is 28 gauge wire, and I just got this in a florist. So all I do is put that in the centre of the wire like that, bring the two pieces of wire together and twist. And that's it. And then I just open the loops out, rough it up a bit, and then you've just got a little spray of seam binding to pin in. There you go. So a couple of those, and then I also done the same thing with the double-ended stamen. So if I just show you the product code for those, is they're called white double head pearl stamen, and the product code is MKX 565. That's the product code, and you get 180. So all I do is grab a bundle of them. Again, I don't count or anything, maybe one more. I don't know, I just grab a few like that. Again, a small length of wire, put it in the centre, bring the two bits of wire together and twist. Like that. And that's it. Because what I think I want to do, well, I'm going to see how it looks first, is I want to make bit more of a display at the bottom, so I want two of these on either side, and I'm just going to cut the wires down as I go. So I've only left a tiny bit, so that's the centre. So I'm just going to push that straight in to the, or not. Try again. This may not work out, you know. That's that side in, so I'll push that straight into polystyrene. And I'm going to do the same on the other side, so that one went in easier. Okay, and I kind of want to spread them out a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take the ribbon, the seam binding, and do the same. And I want the pearls to show, so I'm going to move that in a bit. And if you don't think your wire's holding very well in the polystyrene, you can just pop a little bit of glue on there as well. Right, that's that one in. And then do the same on the other side. So that's what it looks like so far. And actually, looking at that, hang on. So when there's a flower on that, this bit here is going to look a bit bare. So I think I'm going to put a third one in. I do actually have a third one, so I'm going to pop that in. I'm wondering if I should, actually I might put a third lot of pearls in as well. There may be a lot of me changing my mind as I go, but I want them to hang down there. So I'm just going to position these where I think they're going to look best, but like I say, I may change my mind as I go. I think that's better. Or it will be when the flower's on it to hold all the bits down. So that's how it looks so far. Okay, so I want to use a large flower, so this is a 40mm trellis rose in a cream, and these come in a mixed set of white and cream tones, and this is the 40mm, and the product code is MKX091. Now I think I'm going to leave the leaves on. Quite often I take leaves off, but I kind of want some greenery in this one. So because these come on a wire, I'm just going to trim it down. I'm going to try, that's probably about a centimetre, I'm going to try and just pin that in where I think it's going to look best. And like I say, you can add a little bit of glue if they don't feel secure, which I'll probably do at the end once I've got everything where I want them to be. I'm just going to spread these seam binding out a bit. Not quite where I want them to be. I think that one came out, it did. Put that one. I'll probably just add touches of glue underneath when I've finished. So that's how it looks so far. I really want that spread out a bit more. Not happy with that, hang on. I thought it'd come out. Actually, what I might do is get this back in. Yeah. I might pop a little bit of glue in there now, just where they're going into the polystyrene. spread them out a bit more, knowing that they're held in securely. Gonna sit just there. How's that looking? That's better. So that's that popped in there, and you can see the stamen, you can see all the seam binding. So I am actually going to glue that in place now. I've got it where I want it. Just going to pop a little bit of glue in there. I did think the polystyrene would hold it a little bit better, but okay. And just play around with it a bit until you're happy. So that's how it looks so far. Okay. Let me just have a quick sip of tea. Then I think I want to use some of the Tuscany roses, and these are in the 30ml, and this is the product code is MKX626, and I love these. These are in the Ivory. These are new. Sorry for the noise. So I'm just going to take some of those out. And I also want to use the Ivory Tuscany rosebuds, and the product code is MKX627. Take some of those out. Also, I've got some of the deep ivory hip rosebuds, and the product code is GST021. I think those. I've got the off-white hip rosebuds, and the product code is GST020. I think some of those. Oops. You'll see the difference. So off-white and deep ivory. And I think I might put a few little peachy. So I've got the 100 mixed vintage colour open roses in a 10ml, and the product code is MKX043. I think I might use some of these tiny peach ones because they tie in really well with the deep ivory. So we'll work with those for now. Okay, so I'm going to start with the larger ones. So these beautiful Tuscany roses. Now I'm just going to snip these off because obviously 1, 2, 3. I might use 5, I think. So what I'm thinking is one at the top, and then 2, 3, yep. So I'm just going to push them into place first because I want this in between the seam binding there. I love these flowers, they are so beautiful. And then I think one either side of this big piece at the bottom. And then I think these feel like they're holding much better than the wire at the bottom, but I may be wrong. I very rarely measure anything, that one feels loose, so I might, so you can see. So I've just popped those in. I think I'm going to keep them there, but first of all I want to put, let me cut some of the rosebuds off so I can kind of decide how I'm going to do this. Okay, so this one at the top, I definitely want one either side of it, so I'm just going to push that in there like that, and then one in that side, if it will go. Oh yeah, that one's gone. Okay, yeah, I'm liking how that looks. I think I'm going to put another one each side of it as well. It's a good thing about the polystyrene, you can change your mind if you don't like it. Just pull it out and reposition it. Yeah, I think I like that. Excuse me. So I'm just going to cut some more of these off. Probably going to use quite a lot of these. Because they are so beautiful. Really, really beautiful. So I think I'm going to put two either side of this one. There's one. So I think I will pop a smaller rosebud in the centre. So I'm just going to do the same on the other side as I go. No, that's not in the right place. One. Two. Then I think I'll pop to this side. There we go. I need two more. One next to this one. So that's how it looks so far. I'm just wondering whether I should put, I think I'm going to put another couple of these on, I think. I'm just going to try one and see what it looks like first. And then I'll fill with all the smaller ones, I think. So I think I should put another couple of these. Oh yes, I think so. And then I can put a smaller one peeping through. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. So just in between these, I'm popping another. Okay, I'm beginning to like how this looks now. Okay, so I kind of want to cluster these a bit, I think. I wonder if I twist. So I've taken 3 and I'm going to twist the wires together. Like that. Excuse me. And then trim the wires off. And of course, if you don't find wire, you can use the bits that you cut off the stems of the flowers. So, let me see. I want to put one this side, in here. Like that. So I'm just going to repeat that on the other side. I find if you like something, then just repeat it where you've just done it on the opposite side. So twist the 3 together and just cut it off. And because they're in wire, you can position them as you go. Yeah, I like that. So I think I'm going to do another 3 each side, but on the inside of there to fill it out, because I like how they look. I absolutely love these rosebuds. I really, really love them. So I'm just going to push that in there. That'll go. Yes, that's it. This one's a bit loose. I think I want to glue that one in whilst I can feel it's loose, because I don't want it to move now that I've decided I like it. Okay, so take another 3 and just twist the wire around. And then I'm just going to position it on the inside edge of this. So that's it so far. So I can see a few little bits where I want to maybe add a few things. So I'm going to use these beautiful little slightly peach. So I'm just going to cut them off the stems down. And of course you can do this with any colours that you want to use. I just particularly like creams and peaches together. And before I start adding these, I can see somewhere else where I want to add some rosebuds. So just before I start adding these, there's quite a big gap here and here, So again, I want to use the 3. Actually, I might use 4 and do it in that shape and just twist them together, and hopefully that wire is not too thick to push in. It may be, so I may have to replan that, but okay, I kind of want it, I'm just peeping out from behind the seam binding. You know what, that is a little bit too thick, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pin first, just to make a bit of a hole in the polystyrene so that I can push them in. And position them. So there they are. And then what I'll do is I'm going to put a little peach one there. So I'm going to do that for the other side. There. This side doesn't feel secure, so I've knocked one out, one sec. So I need to glue those in. So I'm going to glue these 4 in because they don't feel secure. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in there, and I've got it on the bead. Come on, glue string, there you go. That's better. Okay, this one came from in here, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue in the hole and push them back in. There we go. That one's loose. I probably should have glued them all in as I went, but I really wanted the option of changing my mind of where they were going to sit. Okay, that one's in place. Just going to pop a little bit of glue in there. Okay. So that's how it's looking. And then I'm just going to fill sections with any little bits with these tiny peach flowers, and I'm not going to be as, you know, symmetrical with these, because I think you can just fill with these rather than worrying about being symmetrical. I'm going to do mostly the edges first, and then I'll see if anywhere else needs them, because I have more, so. really you don't have to do so much around the edge because it is going to be hanging up, but I do like to. I do think there needs to be a couple of rosebuds popping out here, but I'll sort that in a minute. And another one there. I don't think the top needs any adding. Okay, here, a couple here. Do I need one there? Some of them instantly feel secure and some don't. Need one here. Might need another one there and there. And that's how it's looking so far. It's nearly finished. I'm not going to do an awful lot more to it. I am just going to pop in between these, I think. Actually, I might use the off-white ones to vary the colour. I think I'm just going to do single ones here and there of these. Right. And again, these ones I'm not going to be so methodical. I'm just going to pop them where I think they need to be rather than symmetrical, if you know what I mean. Helps if you straighten the wire a little bit. And you can do as much or as little as you want. There. So I'm just going to take a few more off. I'm nearly finished. I know this is probably a little bit longer than it should be. Let me just have a quick look, see if I think one in there. Just about filling any gaps that you think shouldn't be there. Any around there? No, I'm quite, maybe one at the top there. No, there. Okay, I think I'm going to stop now because I think that's enough. Okay, so there is my wreath, And I'm so thrilled how that turned out. It turned out better than I thought it was going to. I'm not very confident when doing tutorials without sort of like planning them out or anything, but I think that turned out okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I hope it was okay to follow, and I hope you like it, and I hope you give it a go. And yeah, it was fun. And hopefully I'll be back with another project soon. Bye for now.